we need to understand each and every word very, very deeply. ASHTAVAKRA ji says that you aren't earth, water, fire, wind or space. So, if you aren't ready to listen, what you will say is, King Janak was ready. He was worthy of this. So, whatever ASHTAVAKRA ji is saying, it's for King Janak, not for me. But if you're truly ready, then you'll understand that ASHTAVAKRA ji isn't saying these things to King Janak. He is talking to you. Then you will imbibe all of this and it will work for you. What is he saying? You are neither earth, water, fire, wind or space. For liberation, you need to think of yourself as the conscious being that witnesses all of these. The conscious being that witnesses. The essence of everything, the source of everything, the material cause of everything. That is you. Understand the word witness? What does witness mean? Let's say there is a case in court where someone has murdered someone and someone has been murdered. So, who is the witness? The one who has been murdered or the one who has murdered? Is the witness he who has killed or he who was killed? Or perhaps he who has supported the killer? If the witness has killed, then he's a criminal. How is he a witness? So, the witness is he who has seen all of it at the scene of the crime and remained unaffected by all of this. He who is untouched by the doer and the one who suffered by whatever was done. Neither is the witness here nor there. He is standing apart. Meaning, there were thoughts in our mind, and when those thoughts came, we also saw this world. When there are no thoughts in our mind, what happens then? Nothing, right? Yes. If I want to see something, I'm not seeing it outside of me. I'm seeing it inside my brain. You can say that my brain is like a screen and something is visible on it. It can be any sensation. It could be visual, auditory, anything. So, if the brain is like a screen, at times you see something and at times you don't. So whatever came and whatever went by with those thoughts, that isn't a witness. A thought came and we were happy or sad because of it. We acted on thought or didn't. Who is facing all of this? He who is attached to that thought. Until when? Until he's latched on to that thought. Then maybe another thought when something else happens. A new reaction will start happening. So, am I that entity who is thinking about it, or am I that who knows both the presence and absence of thoughts? You are that. This is being said here. And this isn't being said to King Janak. This is being told to you. So, you're untouched by a thought, which appeared and can be turned into an action. And whatever you're thinking because of that thought, you can call a reaction. Reaction to that thought. This is a process of action and reaction. So, who is the witness? The one who is detached from this action and reaction. He doesn't have to be. He is detached. Just look at it step by step. Something happened in front of you. Something which is already fed into your body and mind that this shouldn't happen. There is a close relative of yours who dies. Now, because of that, there are sensations in the entire body. There are tears rolling down your cheeks. You're screaming and shouting in pain. You're feeling miserable. Whatever this is which is happening, the one who is aware of all of this, he is the witness. He is untouched by all of this. That witness is you. So, what's the problem? Is it that there are some emotions in your mind? No, the problem isn't even this. Because if you love someone, you will get attached to them. be it your parents, kids, husband or wife, anyone. The problem isn't this. The problem is that you are telling yourself that I am the one who is attached to that thought. That is me. That's the problem. In reality, I'm not attached at all. Neither am I attached to the action nor the reaction. I'm just an ever-present witness. The proof of this is that even if you're in the worst of situations in your life, you can come out of it immediately. If that situation would have happened to you, then who would come out? So that which is there in all the three states, when you were sleeping, when you were dreaming, and also right now when you are awake, is the conscious witness. When action happens, even then he sees and knows. When there's no action, then where's the question of a reaction? When there's no sensation, no thought, then how will there be a reaction? To be sad, you need to think of something, isn't it? Be sad without knowing about something. Can you? Try to be sad about such a person whom you don't even know. Can you? One who you can't even picture. What happens next? Neither is there a thought nor any reaction to it. So what happens? Peace, tranquility, silence. There is nothing to know. Now people who don't understand it deeply, what do? They try to achieve this state. A state where there's no action or reaction. But it's impossible to attain. Until there's body and mind, there will be action and reaction. There will be thoughts and consequent reactions. But true knowledge is, whatever happens, it doesn't actually affect me. That is liberation. Otherwise, you are always trying to become that which is impossible to become. That is someone who faces a problem but doesn't get affected by it. It's not possible. The essence of self-knowledge is that there will be problems and you'll be sad too. What is sadness? A sensation which you don't like. For example, if a hot object touches your body, your skin will burn. Similarly, if something bad happens to you, you will be sad. When does action-reaction happen? You saw something. A thought popped up. Now you linked it to your memory. Even saying that you linked it is wrong, because you're a witness. You don't link. You don't do anything. It happens on its own. It connects automatically. The moment you saw me, my name popped up in your head. You didn't have to do anything. It just happened. The moment my name came to you, you closed your eyes and my image popped up in your mind. You're not forcing it. It's happening on its own. Thoughts are forming on their own. But you're a witness. You aren't doing anything. All of this is happening on its own accord. Now ASHTAVAKRA ji says, if you separate your body and calmly be present in your unbound conscious self, then you'll be immediately happy, peaceful and unshackled. ASHTAVAKRA ji is telling this to you, not to King Janak. Separate your body. Not meaning separate it by killing it, but at the level of your understanding. What you strongly believe is that I am this body. For a while, leave that thought and just be. Be what you actually are. If you are that, then immediately you'll be happy, peaceful and unshackled. It's a big statement, because he's not saying that you have to do this or that. Then you'll be happy and peaceful. Right now, meaning what I actually am needs to be at the right place. Our I is at the wrong place. This is what keeps the thoughts alive. If you're indifferent, what is happening? Let it happen. How long will it happen? It'll stop happening. If two kids are fighting with each other and you take one side, the fight will escalate. They'll fight even more. Be indifferent. They'll become friends. Be calm. be silent. But what does silent or shant mean? Sh comes from saha. Saha means to be one with. Ant means the end. So, to be silent means to be one with the end. This is the ultimate goal of life. As ironic as it may sound, if you're one with death, you're alive. Otherwise, you're dead. This, what people call life, is actually death. Whatever impressions and memories are present in our mind, you think according to these. You act according to these. People call that action life, which is happening through memory. But we have the wrong impression that we are doing these things. Whatever you're thinking of, let's say about your future, that I'll do this or I'll do that. Doing this will result in this or that. These people are now with me. Tomorrow they might not be. He or she did something good or bad to me. Whatever it is. Whatever you are thinking, whatever you're doing, everything put together, what are these based upon? Memory. What is memory? Is memory alive or dead? It's dead, right? So, are we living with the dead? The person we're fighting with, we're not fighting with that person. We're fighting with the thoughts or beliefs we have about him or her. We have a problem with that. No one is looking at the person. What is, no one is interested in. Either we want to change it or we want to own it based upon our past conditioning. We are identified with the past. We are living in the past. Our future is based upon the past. We are looking at the present with the eyes of the past. And the past is dead. So we are living with the dead. We are dead. We think that we're alive. But how does it matter? Even a robot can think that. A robot acts. A robot speaks. A robot can do everything which a person can. What can't a robot do? A robot can record and act on the basis of that recording, but it can't feel. A voice can be fed into it, based on which it can speak at the press of a button. If there are some triggers, then it can react based upon these triggers. But it can't listen. Where there's a sensation in our brain, we feel it. But if we don't feel, let's say something happened and we reacted immediately, then what's the difference between us and the robot? Something happened, a reaction occurred. Action, reaction, action, reaction. Keep running the same cycle. That's what a robot does. What you call this moment or the present, is it really the present? You're looking at a star in the sky and say that I'm looking at a star in the sky. Are you actually looking at it? It's possible that it is 100 light years away from you. So eons ago it was there. Now you don't know. But it's possible that it died billions of years ago. So what are you looking at? Something that's not there. What voice are you listening to? That which was there a few seconds ago, microseconds ago, but it's no more. You're acting on the basis of that. You're recording that. You're thinking only about that. So, what's really alive? Think about it. Is something which is still or not moving alive? Or something which is not still or constantly moving alive? In your mind, what is still or not moving? Some old memories which are frozen, the way they were 20 years ago. They're the same today. In this creation, nothing is still. Can this creation ever stop? Can this flow ever stop? Can anything in this creation stop? Can creation and dissolution ever stop? Can they be different? At which moment will you say, was it created or destroyed? Everything is happening together. Clouds are forming and being destroyed. You can't say that clouds are forming but not being destroyed. It's happening together. Happening at each moment, not with a gap of even a second. Everything in this creation is being born and is dying. What is our mistake here? We're not looking at this truth. The body to which we're attached, it is constantly changing. What does change mean if it's not death? It is being born as well as dying at the same time. But we're not looking at this truth because we are identified with the body. That's why we're entangled in our thoughts. If we muster up the courage and see this truth that life and death aren't different but one, then you can live. Otherwise, you live in fear. Life and death can't be different from one another. There is no way to separate them. Where there's life, death is there too. At the time there's life, there's death too. If you look closely, you'll be able to see it. From far, you'll find something still. When you go near, nothing is still. Everything is moving. So what does shant or silent mean? To be one with the end. Because the end is not just the end, but also the beginning. Can they be different from one another? There's a movie playing on a screen. When that movie finishes, then what is the end of the movie? You can only see the screen. Wasn't that same screen present before the movie started? Was the screen present when the movie was on? Isn't that screen the end of that movie? It doesn't matter how long the movie is. 3 hours, 300 years, 3,000 years, or 3 billion years. If the end of the movie is not that screen, then what is? So, if we're one with the screen, then we're effortlessly peaceful. Because the screen by its very nature is peaceful. Now there's only one way to be one with the screen, and that is to be the screen. To be who you actually are. Only then you're one with death even while you're alive. And he who's one with death is alive. He who can watch this game of life and death without fear, only he can live this life. Only he can see the truth of life and be happy. Everyone else is frightened. The other side of life is death. People will be frightened of it. But it's just a game for him. He's born. He dies. Look closely what happens. When was the form created or destroyed? The moment you saw a form in a river, at that point it's already gone. You can't see something alive. You can be alive. We are alive. You can see that. When you're watching the dead, then what's there to fear? Whatever you're seeing or thinking, all of that is dead. What is the point of fearing it? Why be sad because of it? Who is alive? The one who sees. But whatever he sees, be it with his eyes, his ears, or whatever he thinks, he can't ever see something alive. That's what this creation is. To see, there has to be a distance, some space. Whatever you're looking at, that information has to travel through the medium which requires time. So, by the time you see it, it'll be dead. Even if you see it with a microscope, be as near as you can. But that space still exists, isn't it? So, he who's alive can see this game. The game of life and death. Whether you've understood this or not, it doesn't matter. You are the conscious essence or the conscious witness. Even if you want, you can't die. There's no way to kill you. You can kill a pot, but how will you kill the clay? That clay which knows the existence and non-existence of the pot. So, that clay is dead and also alive. Where is the pot? It's not there. It's an imagination of the person seeing it. It's only in the mind. Imagination means this entire creation, which is actually one indivisible whole. We think that it's separate from me. This is imagination. There's no room for being separated. Thought creates separation in the mind. If there's no thought, there's no duality. You're one with the end. This is known as peace, meaning that which is one with both life and death. What is dead? Whatever you can think, that is all dead. Why fear the dead? Let the dead walk behind you. Who is alive? I am, the one who is alive. Only he can look at the dead. To see the dead, I've to be alive, isn't it? So what you actually are, there's no way to kill it. And what you're not, there's no way to save it. But your entire life is spent on saving what you're not. For example, you say, I'm a big person. Who became a big person? Can infinite be bigger? A person who says, I'm a big man, he's very small. What is he in front of this creation? The fact that he's saying this isn't the problem. The fact that he's even thinking of it is the problem. That is called foolishness. That which is the source of this entire creation. What can be bigger than that? ASHTAVAKRA ji says, neither are you Brahman, meaning neither are you a saint. There were categories of people in earlier days, different categorizations. Now you can categorize according to today's times. Today there are rich and poor, Hindus and Muslims. Definitions have changed, but you can fit something else in this place. Neither are you brahmachari or bachelor, nor are you from any ashram. So who are you? You are detached, not attached to anyone. And if you're not attached, you are not bound. The one who is attached is bound. When there's no bondage, then who will be liberated? You don't have to be detached by doing this or that. You are detached. Whatever is being said here, you can connect it with the sound of silence. That is what is being talked about. The conscious witness. The one who sees your existence and non-existence. What you call I, what is it? It's only a thought. It's just a sensation. What else is I? If there's a thought, then I am, else I'm not. So the one who sees your existence and non-existence is the ever-present conscious witness. The self. You're detached. Just look back and see if you're detached or not. Look within and see. You're formless, meaning there's no shape to you. The one who has a form can be killed. Form can be killed. How can formless be killed? There's no way to save a form and there's no way to kill the formless. ASHTAVAKRA ji says, you're the world's witness. It means that you're the only conscious witness to this world. In this entire universe, wherever, whoever is looking at something, wherever, whoever is thinking about something, wherever, whoever is doing something, wherever, whoever is listening to something, smelling something, touching something, feeling something. It's all happening because of the conscious witness. And who's that witness? It's you. Not only in this body, which is like an instrument, but in every instrument. Instruments are created and destroyed. If the conditions are favorable, an instrument is created, which we call a body. If the conditions are changed, the instrument gets damaged or destroyed. For example, there's a bulb. Just crack it open. Does electricity die? Does light die? What has died? Nothing is dead. Electricity was never attached to the bulb. If it was attached, then something would have happened. It can't get attached. If one of the bulbs stops working, electricity is still passing through the other bulbs as usual. You're the world's witness, not a witness. The witness. That is you. That's why be happy and at ease. What is ASHTAVAKRA ji telling you? That you are detached. You don't need to be this or that. So, be happy and at ease.